So I'm gonna do a video on this, and what this is going to be about is about eliminating the Williams System 11 and Data East hum. Now, there's two different kinds of hum that are discussed. Two different kinds of hums that get discussed. One of them is the buzzing sound that follows the light show, and the other one that some people have is just a constant hum, like a constant buzz. I don't know if it's going to pick it up, but if it could hear that just constant buzz, that's one thing. Okay, that's one type of buzz. And if we listen here, I'll put it like this. There's another kind of buzz that you'll hear when the attract lights kind of go on. So we'll wait and I'll show you that. I don't know if you were able to hear that. So you have two kinds of buzz: the constant buzz and the attract buzz. There's a thread on Pinside that talked about all kinds of solutions, anywhere from, and I know it's dark in here, anywhere from floating the boards, as far as the ground goes. All these boards are grounded to the back plane, the metal back plane, via the ground braid, and then the ground braid goes down to the main ground. Not a very technical explanation, but that's pretty much the gist of it. And what happens is, if you don't have all the screws in, you don't have these boards properly grounded, it can cause a buzz. So that's one thing. Or, depending on your problem, if you float the board, if you float certain boards, meaning you attach it to the back box, but you don't let the board itself, the ground plane, touch the back box standoffs, thereby isolating it, so to speak. That's another way you can get rid of the hum. People have suggested floating the power supply, floating the soundboard, floating the PPB board, PPV board, whatever it's called, and floating the CPU using nylon washers. I've tried that too. I've reflowed connectors, I've checked grounds, I've checked ground braids, I've checked tightness of screws. I've done everything, but I still have a somewhat annoying buzz. So the last resort is to actually install an auxiliary power supply. This is something that they've tested out on Pinside. There's a whole thread. I'll link to that thread if I remember. And basically, it's taking an auxiliary power supply, right here. It's in the static bag right now. And this provides the +5, the +12, and the -12 for the soundboard. So you're basically hooking up separate power supply and running the soundboard off this. A lot of people who have nothing else has worked for them, that solution has worked. And there's the music. Alright, so nothing else has worked. So doing that, they said, has worked. 99% of the people who've tried it, who nothing else is working out for them, it solved it. So being that there's no other videos on this, I only saw one thread on this on Pinside, nothing on Clav, I figured I'd try it out, and I'd kind of document this to see if it works. I know some people are going to regard this as a hack. Yeah, I get it. I'm not crazy about using an external power supply or adding something to my game. I like to try to keep things as original as possible, when possible. But in this case, the hum is just really annoying. I have two more Williams games that they have the attract hum, where there's the buzz that follows the attract sound, but they don't have that just general ground loop hum to them. But my Robocop does. So anyway, enough of me yapping. I am going to wire it up, and after I'm done wiring it up, I'm not going to make a video of me doing the wiring. I'll come back, I'll explain the wiring, and we'll see if it worked. Okay, we're done wiring it up. I took the balls out, so it's doing ball search. But as you hear now, right, there's a little bit of that attract buzz, which is fine. I don't mind that. That's on my other games. But there's no constant hum. That's because we put a separate power supply, an isolated supply. Oh, the way we wired this up is we went right here from where it comes from the switch into the transformer, and we took the hot and the neutral, 110 right out of here, ran some nice jacketed cable neatly up into the back box. Move this so I can show you. Let that hang. Up to the back box, see this covered cable, and it goes right into here. The thing is, if you do this, this is the two prongs to the hot and neutral, right? They're not spaced like a regular connector. They're wider. So what you have to do is you have to get a three space connector, and skip a space in the middle. You see? I put a just regular two connector on there, and I couldn't figure out why the board wasn't getting power until I figured out that I was missing one pin or the other from my perspective standing here. I then wired a connector from here, which is the 5 volts, positive 5, positive 12, and negative 12, and the ground for the board itself, the auxiliary power supply itself, to the soundboard. Here's the original soundboard connector right down there. Here's my new soundboard connector right there for the power. Going from left to right, it is the red is 5 volts, the black is ground, the green is negative 12. This is I'm at a bad angle here. My back hurts from doing work outside. Worst video ever. The white is positive 12, green is negative 12. The black is ground, and the red is 5 volts, which is what the soundboard needs. So now, when we get this all hooked up, we actually try to play our sounds now. Make sure we're steady. Put the balls back in.
Serve the public trust.
No more hum. And it might be hard to tell, but the music and the voices sound a lot better now. Obviously, without the speaker hum. But everything sounds a lot clearer and a lot better. So that mod worked. Again, some people are going to probably say it's a hack and it's stupid and should figure out the problem, but I went through this whole thing. I couldn't figure it out, as well as many other people couldn't figure it out. So, I'm happy to be able to do it the way I did it. Turn this down. Had to resort to kind of what I did here. This is a little XP power supply. I got this off eBay. I think it was 70 bucks. You know, not cheap, but still. Good old power supply. You know, nice and compact, open frame. And yeah, that's it. So there we go. Just a little note is that as you see the color of the wires here, the order of the pins left to right on the power supply is not the same as the order of the pins here. Let's get a light in here. Alright. You see down here, it goes white, green, black, skip 2, and then red. And down here, it's white, skip 2, green, black, red. So if you're going to do this on yours, just make sure that you know it's not 1 for 1 as far as the pin out from the power supply to the soundboard. And I'm sure I made this longer winded than I had to, but there we go. Any questions, any help, feel free to ask. And like I said, I'll put the link to the Pinside thread in here too. That's it. Push the start button. Listen to some RoboCop music.
Protecting another.
Go ahead.